Psychology says people who have no friends are often misunderstood, not broken, not antisocial, and not failures in many cases. Their brain works in a way that makes normal social life feel draining, shallow, or simply unnecessary. And if you've gone long periods without friends, there are real psychological reasons behind it. 1. You have zero tolerance for fake people. If you have few friends, this is often one of the strongest reasons. You simply cannot tolerate fake personalities, emotional manipulation, gossip, or people who lack authenticity. As people develop stronger self-awareness, which usually increases with age, emotional maturity, or exposure to difficult life experiences, their brain becomes better at detecting subtle behavioral patterns. This includes noticing when someone is lying, when someone's energy feels off, when someone is performing instead of being real, hidden motives behind kindness, emotional manipulation disguised as friendliness. Psychology studies show that individuals with high self-awareness experience a sharp decline in tolerance for inauthentic behavior. Their brain becomes more sensitive to emotional dishonesty and faster at identifying inconsistency in people's words and actions. So, while others may be comfortable around fake people just to avoid loneliness, you would rather be completely alone than engage in superficial conversations with someone who drains your energy. This doesn't mean you're antisocial. It means you're protective of your peace. When your brain detects even a hint of manipulation or drama, it instinctively pulls away. You prefer solitude, which feels clean and honest, over companionship that feels fake or performative. In a world full of noise, you choose clarity. 2. You prefer depth over quantity in every relationship. Here's something most people misunderstand. You're not avoiding relationships, you're avoiding shallow ones. People with few friends often have what psychology calls depth-oriented thinking. You examine life carefully. You notice patterns, details, inconsistencies. You reflect before you speak. You don't just want to know what someone is doing, you want to know why they do it. Because of this deeper mental processing, surface-level friendships feel boring or even painful. You can't stand small talk, empty conversations, relationships built on convenience, people who gossip but never grow, interactions with no purpose, meaning, or authenticity. You want to talk about real things, ideas, personal growth, psychology, dreams, fears, and what gives life meaning. You crave emotional honesty and conversations that leave you thinking long after they end. And because deep connections are rare, you choose patient solitude over forced socializing. You're not looking for more people, you're looking for the right people. Psychology also notes that depth-oriented individuals usually develop strong internal worlds. They may appear quiet on the outside, but internally, they're analyzing, creating, imagining, planning, and connecting ideas. This makes them naturally selective about who they allow into that inner world. Most people look for companionship to avoid loneliness. You look for companionship that enriches your life. And until you find that, you are perfectly fine being alone. 3. Your brain needs more recovery time after social interaction. If you have few friends, chances are you are not socially anxious, you are socially sensitive. People with high social sensitivity have a more reactive nervous system. Their brain processes emotional cues, body language, tone shifts, and micro-expressions more deeply than the average person. This means every interaction, whether positive or negative, uses more mental energy. While extroverts gain energy from being around others, your brain works differently. It treats each conversation like a detailed analysis. What did they mean by that tone? How do they feel emotionally right now? What's the intention behind their behavior? Did that shift in expression mean something deeper? Is this person safe, sincere, or unpredictable? Your mind processes all this subconsciously, even when you're not aware of it. This is why social situations, even enjoyable ones, can leave you tired, mentally overloaded, or craving silence. Psychology calls this cognitive drain, and it's especially common among highly intuitive people, empaths, introverts, individuals with strong emotional intelligence, people who have experienced trauma or betrayal, and highly sensitive persons, HSPs. After socializing, your brain needs longer recovery time. Alone time isn't just preference, it's mental maintenance. You conserve social energy because you treat it as a limited resource. Instead of scattering it across dozens of acquaintances, you invest it carefully and deliberately. This alone naturally reduces your social circle, but it also makes the relationships you do have far more meaningful. 4. You're extremely independent and don't need external validation. Another major reason people have few friends is deep psychological independence. Many individuals with small social circles carry a trait called low social dependency, meaning they do not rely on others to regulate their emotions, validate their worth, or give them identity. You may notice that you're comfortable being alone for long periods. You don't crave approval from others. You don't need constant communication. You enjoy your own company. You think for yourself instead of adopting the group mindset. This independence makes you self-sufficient in ways many people are not. You can entertain yourself, solve your own problems, and find comfort inside your own mind. You don't need a large circle to feel secure. Your inner life is already rich and grounded. But independence can make you appear distant to others. Not because you are cold, but because you don't need people the way they need each other. And this naturally results in fewer but more authentic friendships. People with this trait often set high standards for connection. You don't let everyone in. You evaluate people carefully, sometimes subconsciously. Do they have integrity? Are they emotionally mature? Do they respect boundaries? Are they consistent? Do they treat people with kindness? Because of these internal standards, you rarely settle for low-quality friendships. You aren't interested in collecting people, you're interested in connecting with people who are real. 5. Past experiences taught you to think twice before trusting people. One of the most powerful psychological explanations for having few friends is your history. For many people, there was a time when they trusted easily, but then something happened: betrayal, manipulation, emotional neglect, toxic relationships, or simply being surrounded by the wrong people. These experiences change the brain. Psychology shows that when trust is broken, the brain develops a protective system. It becomes more selective, more observant, and more cautious. So, you may now instinctively test people before trusting them. You watch their behavior over time. You notice inconsistencies. You pay attention to how they treat others. You look for emotional maturity. You wait to see if their actions match their words. This is called a trust threshold, a higher bar someone must pass before you let them into your life. It doesn't mean you're closed off. It means you've learned from the past instead of repeating it. Trust becomes something earned, not given automatically. This natural selectivity can drastically reduce your friend circle, but it increases your emotional safety and improves the quality of your connections. Instead of allowing anyone access to your life, you choose carefully, consciously, and intelligently. And that's a sign of growth, not isolation. Having few friends is a sign of strength, not weakness. Having few friends does not mean there is something wrong with you. In fact, it often means the opposite. It means your mind works with greater awareness, higher sensitivity, more depth, more intuition, better boundaries, higher standards, emotional independence, and a richer inner world. Most people fill their lives with noise, people who drain them, distract them, or keep them from growing. You choose differently. Your small circle reflects your strength, your wisdom, and your ability to walk alone until you find the right people.